Hey, what's up you guys, Aftershare Reacts here, and today I'm going to be reacting to some more Person of Interest. This is Season 2, Episode 11, so let's get into the episode. This episode's title is really weird.
You are being watched.
Okay, 2012, so not the year that is current. Man, it's really hard to tell because, like, no, it is the correct year. It's the year that this is happening. Okay, because this didn't air in 2023 and I'm in 2023.
And I'm not gonna math. No contact, not with their lawyers, not with each other, not with anybody. It's a matter of national security.
They're terrorists? Look more like investment bankers to me.
3 of them may be, but one of them is the most dangerous criminal I've ever pursued. I can hold them for 72 hours without charging them, and I fully intend to.
You have 72 hours. This is Rikers, not Guantanamo.
You don't plan on asking them any questions?
Don't worry, Carter. We got the DNA evidence from New Rochelle, we got the blood from the burned car, and thanks to you, fingerprints. He's ours.
It'd be really weird when, like, she said she didn't recognize him. Sorry. I don't know.
I didn't know the federal government would be no match for you.
As I suspect it might be compromising for you to be found with a phone, I'll be brief. The matter is in hand, John. We'll get you out of there.
I took too many risks. It's my fault. I'll handle it.
Listen to me. I made preparations for a scenario like this. In 72 hours, you will walk free.
What if another number comes up?
Unfortunately, as I told you, they never stop coming. I'll have to manage as best I can. I sincerely hope our next conversation is under better circumstances.
Comes up to you, Finch.
I'll be in touch. My name is Mr. Swift. I'm your substitute teacher. Ms. Bentham
we do have
received a
teenagers
last-minute
this time.
opportunity to attend an all-expenses-paid teaching seminar in Maui. I see in Miss Bentham's lesson plan that today we're doing
Bentham?
addition.
Like Jeremy Bentham?
can't be
Is that a
right.
reference
Busy
to
work,
that? I'm
punishment.
wondering.
We're supposed to add all the numbers from 1 to 100.
Math is not punishment.
The weirdest twist ever.
You know, in the late 18th century,
like,
there was a math
why?
prodigy
Like,
named Carl Friedrich Gauss.
Why?
Who was faced with the same tedious problem that you are. He figured a way around it. 1 to 100. Who'd like to take a crack at working out Gauss's equation? Anybody?
I gotta be honest, Mr. Swifty, you lost me at Friedrich, so...
I'll give you a hint.
I'm really bad at math, but I'm pretty sure I can do that math.
Hey, Caleb, you going to a party Saturday?
No, that's not my kind of thing.
Oh.
Besides, I'm heading out of town.
Caleb. Oh. Oh, you said Julia.
Never seem to stop texting. Beginning to feel like I'm on another planet.
Get used to it. Their planet's gonna be running ours in about 10 years. High schools are different nowadays. Gang fights, drug searches, and pregnancies. This kid could be into anything.
You weren't exaggerating about the drug problem.
Kids ain't what they used to be. Be careful in there, pal.
I won't even ask.
Probably best.
Our friend in Rikers.
I have the situation in hand. I don't want you crossing some kind of line to do...
This already deleted them from the network, too. That line you're talking about, I crossed it a long time ago. Now we have to deal with the DNA sample. FBI keeps it in a secure lab here in New York. I know what to do.
I really like that she's
But I'm
coming
gonna
around
need a
on them.
couple things from you.
Mr. Swift, it has come to my attention that you
But you're
tried to
not a
show
real
Ms.
teacher.
Bentham's students how to get around one of her assignments.
The assignment seemed a bit remedial. I was hoping to teach them.
Teaching is Ms. Bentham's job. Your job is to ensure that her students do the work that she prepared.
Don't sweat, Lawton. Do you think schools would run better if they just got rid of the students and teachers? Chris Beckner, computer science.
Harold Swift, nice to meet an idealist.
Oh, no, not me. Throw all this stuff online, I say. Let me teach you my boxers. Run wild, man.
Couple years? You doing that?
I believe I will.
Interesting. Caleb's latest national aptitude test score is exactly 50%, a statistically improbable score, unless you try to get it. You see, Caleb knew the answer to every question, but he chose only to fill in every other one.
I don't get it. Tanked on purpose? Why would you want to hide the fact that you're a genius?
Why, indeed.
weird that those like all match up with some correct answers.
Caleb, forward. I couldn't help but notice this.
No offense, Mr. Swift, but now you're going through the garbage?
Put your phones away. Oh my god. Literally, we would not have phones.
Hi.
No chance.
Can any of you tell me what it means?
We would get them confiscated.
I'll settle for an intelligent question here. Yes.
My friend has a question, Mr. Swift. What is any of this good for, and when would we ever use it?
Never and nothing.
Let me show you. Pi, the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter. And this is just the beginning. It keeps on going without ever repeating, which means that contained within this string of decimals is every single other number. Your birth date, combination to your locker, your social security number, it's all in there somewhere. And if you convert these decimals into letters, you would have every word that ever existed in every possible combination. The first syllable you spoke as a baby, the name of your latest crush, your entire life story from beginning to end. Everything we ever say or do, all of the world's infinite possibilities rest within this one simple circle. Now, what you do with that information, what it's good for, well, that would be up to you.
Yes, Detective.
I planted that webcam for you. Met Caleb's mom, late for work, won't out the door with the shakes. My guess is she's hitting the bottom.
No wonder Caleb doesn't care about his grades. Anything new on our two dealers?
Used to deal for a guy by the name of Lorenzo, type of guy you don't want to cross. But now they're working for some new up-and-comer that narcotics hasn't been able to identify. I'll tell you, that school's a real minefield.
Okay. Want to keep your mouth shut, right, Chief?
Yeah, sure. Except to say this. Next time you decide you want to deal E to a kid who's clearly never bought in his entire life, do it in the locker room downstairs. Because this jumpy fool is a neon sign shouting drugs ahoy. Chief?
That's enough. Unless you want to settle this in the principal's office. You okay?
I don't need your help, okay?
Kinda do. Your number came up.
Hacker used to refer to industrious coders who push the boundaries of modern computing. Then that word became misappropriated by those who pushed the boundaries so far that they ended up with jail time, like Kevin Mitnick back in the 1980s.
Yeah, he was just trying to see how stuff worked. Mitnick was looking for flaws in the system.
And he did so by breaking the law.
But he proved people were the flaw, not the code. Now they're paying him millions for the same thing that got him locked up in the first place.
Perhaps the most notorious hacker of them all was the one that got away. Back when Uncle Sam was trying to maintain its iron grip on the budding internet, or ARPANET as it was known then, this hacker, this coder, hacked into the system and laid its secrets bare, ensuring that the internet would become an open forum.
Plus, that hacker made his mark without ever getting busted.
True. Whoever it was, that person's still out there.
Yeah, I'm checking on the boy Genius. Not you, the other one.
Turns out he's quite the little coder. He's been coding a massive program in longhand, as he doesn't have a computer at home. Then he writes it into a computer in the lab. If the partial code I discovered is a snapshot of his work, what he's creating could be groundbreaking. Detective Fusco, can you do something for me? I need you to follow Diego and Ronnie. Caleb had a run-in with them today that might lead to trouble.
Is there a history there?
Hard to tell, but Caleb seemed to take an outsized interest in their drug dealing. If someone's pulling their strings, I'd like to know who.
Detective, how goes phase 1 of your plan?
I got the package you sent over, but if I'm gonna wade into this pool, I need the right specs.
Sending them to you now.
Our friend in Rikers is counting on you.
Okay.
Knock 'em dead, Detective.
They will know what hit them.
How you doing?
Thanks, but I'm looking for something a little more specific.
Give you a ride home? The car's right down there.
I'd like that.
I have to admit, you kind of threw me at first, asking all those questions about my background, my health. I couldn't tell whether we were flirting, filling out my medical history.
I'm a practical girl. I like to know what I'm getting into.
So are we getting into anything tonight?
I am.
Oh, I don't know what happened. I didn't even have that much to drink.
Open wide, big fella.
I've been following this drug money all night. Diego and Ronnie handed a bag full of it to a homeless guy, who I followed till he dumped it off at a money transfer place. The worker there wired it to another money hub across town, where I hoofed it over there just in time to see some other guy pick up the cash and drop it at a P.O. box right here in Crown Heights.
A mysterious drug lord is laundering his money, making it untraceable.
Yo, not untraceable enough. Whoever comes in for this cash is our guy. Where are you, anyway?
I'm looking at you.
Thought you were following the kid.
I am.
Here you go, sir. Thanks.
Well, I'll be damned. Our mystery drug lord is Caleb.
Beckner just broke into Caleb's account, Detective. He's copying a file named 17621 onto a thumb drive. Whatever Caleb's making, his teacher's interest in it is far from academic.
Oh, Mr. Phipps. Look, I'm kind of on my way somewhere.
I just wanted to return something of yours. You dropped this yesterday.
You really gotta stop going through the trash, Mr. Swift.
You know, I used to do a little coding myself. That's an elegant string you have, but it occurs to me that if you want to implement multi-threading, you'd do better to use atomic variables. Just a thought.
Wait, that works?
Yes, that's why I suggested it.
Thanks.
I hope you have your service weapon with you, Detective.
Yeah, I got you a machine gun, too.
Very funny, Detective. Let's try not to lose him.
Yo, Roman, you here? Oh, jeez. Whoa.
What you came for, right? So tell me, why would a kid like you do something so stupid like dealing at a school in my neighborhood?
That's Lorenzo, all right. Diego and Ronnie's old boss. What's the plan?
You know, before he had his little accident here, Roman was telling me how you're just trying to score some bank, take a big trip. That true?
Yeah.
You pay back every dime you made selling to my customers. I'll let you leave town intact. Be back here tomorrow night, 8 p.m., or I'll come find you.
How do you expect me to score that kind of cash in a day? Relax. All right, I'll rob a bank or something.
I like you. You got brass. But you don't show tomorrow night, break a lot more than your legs.
He has to take a very different approach. He doesn't have, like, combat experience.
Kid's got it tough. But picking a fight with a drug dealer, it's a dumb move for a genius.
Why would a young man with such potential risk it all just to get some easy drug money?
I don't think it's about the money. I think it's about the brother. Dispatch transcripts from the night Ryan Phipps died. Now, the transit cop who filed the report called for backup because Caleb initially reported that two youths got into a shoving match with Ryan, pushed him onto the tracks.
But the officer canceled the backup call and filed an accident report instead. Why would Caleb change his story?
Maybe he knew the killers. Maybe he was thinking about taking care of them himself.
Diego and Ronnie?
He's manipulating those morons. Got them running drugs for him, and they don't even know it.
What's Beckner so absorbed in?
That's Caleb's work.
Howard, it's Chris. Can you still meet up tonight? I think you'll be impressed with what you see.
Change of plans, Detective.
Let me guess. You need me to keep an eye on little Einstein myself tonight.
Keep me posted.
When you see this, well, then let's just see it, Chris, so I can get back to my wife and kids.
Is this to try and get him to, like, a good job or something? That's what I'm thinking.
What the hell was that? The Library of Congress. What? 235 terabytes on one thumb drive? The internet's choking on streaming video. They're gonna need a new compression algorithm to continue growing. And I've got it. All I need is an investment from a firm like yours to help me get it off the ground. So, here's the thing, Chris. I remember your code from back in college. You were a medium talent at best. There is no way that Chris Beckner designed something this extraordinary. Unlike our old friends, I didn't peak in college. So no one else knows about this project? Programmers, developers,
Oh,
know
you're
their
trying to get a good
entanglements?
job for yourself, by passing it off as yours.
Well, let's hope so. Because I would hate for anyone to come between you and what I believe is going to be a very large check.
Okay.
Beckner just texted Caleb. He wants to meet at 8 tonight.
At the same time, he's supposed to meet Lorenzo.
Quantum physics notwithstanding, you can't be in two places at once.
Unless I'm right, this kid's got a plan. Time's running out on two fronts. Maybe skipping town's the best thing for him. And then we can focus on getting your pal out of lockup.
Mr. Reese can take care of himself, Detective, and right now he's in very capable hands.
Wow, Carter. Can't believe that the lengths that you're willing to go to now.
You wanted to speak with me?
Yeah, working on a cold case. Looking for related cases. This popped up. Ryan Phipps. Says, hey, you were fresh in the scene?
Yeah, that's right.
It was 6 months shy of his 18th birthday. Coming home with his little brother, Caleb. Ryan was horsing around, drinking a little bit, slipped on the tracks and got clipped.
Yeah, I remember. It was a rough one.
Because it was a kid? Or because you didn't report the whole story? I know about the kids who pushed Ryan on the tracks.
I'm no detective. I'm just a lowly transit cop. I've seen a lot of things in my time, and I made a lot of decisions I regret. This is not one of those times.
You may regret it when Caleb becomes a killer.
What are you talking about?
You think revenge is gonna make Caleb feel better about seeing his brother die?
We're a long ways off, detective.
Then give me some directions.
You know, I did to the kid what you're doing to me right now. When I asked him for descriptions of the other kids, kept changing it up.
There were no other kids.
No. Just 2 brothers, drinking, bored, waiting for a train to go home. So they dare each other to cross the tracks. You know, how many times you can cross back and forth before a train comes? Well, Ryan doesn't want to lose to his little brother. One kid makes it, the other kid doesn't. I don't know who got the better deal. So I told him I'd leave all that out of the report, write it up as an accident for him to keep it to himself. No matter what he had to tell his mom, or the cops, or God himself. Nothing was gonna bring his brother back. What can I tell you? Some things you can't fix.
Our boy is a no-show and Lorenzo wants his head. You worry about the kid. I'll take care of Lorenzo.
He's not here either, Detective. I may be too late.
Swift, what are you doing here?
I was going to ask you the same.
I left some papers on...
Stop it. I saw you break into Caleb's account and copy his files. Is that what you're willing to stoop to? Stealing the work of a student and passing it off as your own?
I am not going to stand here and be accused of plagiarism by some substitute teacher. Besides, why would I copy work off of a C-grade student?
Because Caleb is anything but average. And you know it. That's why you took his work to your friend.
He approached me a few months ago about this project he was working on. I was skeptical, but when I saw his code, I couldn't believe my eyes, so I decided to help him.
By cutting him out of it?
No. All he wanted was some money up front for this trip that he wants to take. He said he didn't even want any credit.
Why on earth would you agree to that?
I didn't. Now read it for yourself. Caleb gets all the credit. It was just easier for me to pitch the idea to them myself, get some capital, and then reveal the true brain behind it. He offered me half if I put the other half in a trust that he set up for his mom. But I'm giving him the whole thing. All the money from 17621.
17621?
It's the name he gave the program. He said it was some kind of dedication. Look, I am telling you, 6 months from now, Caleb is going to be the richest 18-year-old in the country.
No, he won't.
Dispatch Officer Murphy regarding the subway fatality. 1080 on the backup request.
So,
10-5, officer.
Here's what I'm guessing, okay? He created a program or something to make money, to give to his mum. He sold drugs to get money, to give it to his mum. And I'm guessing he's gonna jump in front of a train because he feels guilty. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
Affirmative.
This seat taken?
That's really weird seating at a station.
What are you doing here? You're so smart, Caleb. Ask me something you don't know.
The thing about being reckless, taking chances, is that you make a lot of mistakes, cause a lot of grief.
You're gonna start lecturing me on mistakes. How I need to live and learn. Move on. That's really inspiring, Mr. Swift. I stand up on my desk and clap for you.
Your mistakes, like mine, are part of who you are now. You can't move on from that. Believe me, I've made a sizable number. But sometimes your mistakes can surprise you. My biggest mistake, for instance, brought me here at exactly this moment when you might need some help. 17 years, 6 months, and 21 days into your life. The age at which your brother died. The age you've chosen to end your life, too. 17, 6, 21. So you see, maybe you and I are connected. Two reckless people.
Yeah, then what's the use? We're just gonna keep breaking things over and over. Why not save everyone the grief?
The thing about the world is that it doesn't have any extra pieces. It's like pie. It contains everything. You remove a single piece, no circle. Your recklessness, your mistakes are the reason why, when they say you can't change the world, you won't listen. The world is better off with both of us in it, rather than the alternative.
Yeah, you sure about that?
Yes, and your mom is better off with you in it. If you think money can replace you, you haven't seen the whole equation. Take it from someone who thought that leaving would make it easier on everyone, and then learned otherwise.
Say it to me again, slowly.
According to the lab results, none of the DNA we took from these 4 men matches any of the DNA in our database. They're clean, sir, all 4 of them.
I want every one of those samples sent to Quantico, reviewed through CODIS, and inspected for tampering. They got to it. I don't know how, but those bastards got to it. One more thing. Get me Carter.
You really ought to be more careful with your code.
Thanks.
Give him a laptop.
I grew up during the Cold War, when computer networks were just a gleam in the eye of the Department of Defense. Things seemed more black and white then. ARPANET was the new frontier. Till a kid with a homemade computer turned the whole thing inside out. All I'm saying is, it's a new era now, and things are about to get really weird. So you should keep your code close to your vest. And pick your friends wisely.
Why?
The first 3,000 digits. My number's in there somewhere. You're smart, you'll figure it out.
Wait, the hacker, the one who got away? How'd you know he did that with a homemade computer? I read all that research, no one's ever mentioned that.
I must have heard it somewhere.
Then implying it was him.
Detective Carter, has our friend in Rikers been released?
Almost.
Your DNA wasn't a match for whoever they're looking for. I'm gonna be processing you out momentarily.
Stop right there. These men have all been classified as unlawful combatants by the AUMF. Until we can establish that they're not a threat to national security, they're not going anywhere. Put them back. Just the person I wanted to see.
What's going on? I thought the evidence cleared these guys.
The DNA, it's all too neat. I've been burned too many times trying to bring this man to justice. There's only one person that I know I can trust anymore. You. You've been chasing him from the beginning, and we've only got one shot left at him, Detective. If he walks out of here, we're never gonna see him again. I know you were a senior interrogator in Iraq. Time to put those military skills to use. I want you to interrogate every last one of these men, find out who they are, what they know. Start with him.
Oh, yes. So close. Hey, what's up, you guys? Quick interruption here. As you are no doubt aware, these past few years have been tough on all of us. And there are some things that none of us can hide from. The cost of living, for instance, food and things like electricity, gas, and water have all gone up, and they continue to go up. Now, I don't really like to advertise this, but in order to afford keeping the lights on, the camera running, and to be able to provide you guys with new content like this very edit, for example, I feel I need to let you guys know about how you can help support the channel and myself. I have a Patreon that if you pledge to, you're helping support the channel, and in return, you can get a vast amount of content that you wouldn't regularly get on YouTube, such as full unedited reactions to my regular content, a ton of other shows and movies that you probably don't even know that I've reacted to. A link to this can be found in the description below, and it really does help the channel by keeping me and my very cute cats alive. Think of the cats. If you're interested, you can also check out our website, which is also linked below. Perhaps there's some shows and movies there that you didn't even know that I reacted to, but you always wanted to see. Please know, pledging is entirely your own choice, of course. You're welcome to stay here on YouTube and wait for the edits to come out. No worries. I'm not going anywhere. More edits are coming. I understand not everyone is in the position to support creators, but any help is welcome. Anyways, thank you for your continued support, whether it's through YouTube or on Patreon. You guys are the best. Now please, enjoy the rest of the video. Alrighty, well that was Person of Interest, Season 2, Episode 11. Decent episode. This episode was different because Finch had to work with, like, he had to go out into the field and work with Fusco in trying to deal with the number of the week, which like just so happened to have been a coding thing. Like, how like convenient. But yeah, it was nice to see Carter like go through all of that as well, just to like get John out of there, and it didn't even work. Rough. Yeah. What did you guys think? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.